Monday, 11 April, The Gap News This Morning, broadcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. System malfunction causes Malaysia Airlines plane's sudden dive. Tanjung Tokong fishermen protest proposed demolition of homes at village. Chicken shortage imminent if government doesn't resolve supply pricing issues, says industry body. Ukraine ready for big battles against Russia. Imran Khan ousted as Pakistan's PM after vote. An Australian Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc wins in Melbourne as title rival Max Verstappen retires. And now the news in full. The Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAAM, has identified the cause of the technical issue which forced a Malaysia Airlines flight to Tawau to return to KLIA last Sunday after reportedly diving at one point. Based on initial analysis of the flight data recorder, FDR, CAAM CEO Chester Fu said it was determined that a technical issue occurred during the flight due to a malfunction in the pitot static system, a set of pressure-sensitive instruments used to determine airspeed and altitude. In a statement, Fu said that the affected Boeing 737-800 had been grounded until further notice, and that Boeing was currently carrying out technical analysis. Apart from instructing Malaysia Airlines to hold reviews with CAAM on reliability reports which focus on similar issues for its Boeing 737-800 fleet, CAAM also wanted the airline to complete a pitot static inspection on all of its Boeing 737-800 series aircraft. Wu explained that last Sunday's malfunction on MH2664 produced a false speed indication, which resulted in the aircraft pitching up and deactivating the autopilot. About 100 residents at a fishing village in Tanjung Tokong in Penang are demanding answers from the state government over plans to demolish several structures in their village. They were told by the supervisor of an international school project nearby during a recent meeting that 12 structures in the village had to be demolished. At a press conference organized by Persatuan Penduduk Kampung Warisan Tanjung Tokong on Sunday, the association's deputy secretary, Waifuddin Hamdan, said these included the houses of 2 fishermen, fish ponds, a surau, as well as 2 houses used as homestays and huts. The villagers had been staying in the village for nearly 20 years. Waifuddin said the villagers had applied 3 times for temporary occupation licenses, TOL, from 2012 until 2020 to use the government land but received no response. The country will soon face a shortage of chicken if the government fails to resolve the issues surrounding supply and pricing, said the Federation of Livestock Farmers Associations of Malaysia. Its advisor, Dato' Jeffrey Ng, said the lack of supply stems from the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Aside from high prices, we could face a lack of supply as Ukraine is one of the most active chicken exporters, aside from Belarus and Russia. According to last year's statistics, Ukraine is among the top 10 largest exporters of poultry meat in the world. Malaysia, said Ng, is not the only country facing a supply issue, as Singapore is also dependent on the 3 countries. He added that the situation has been dire for some, leading to 48 chicken farms in Malaysia going bankrupt and 11 egg farms in Penang having to close due to supply disruptions. Meanwhile, he said the government needs to engage with all stakeholders to come up with a mechanism quickly to address the rising prices as well. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak tells national TV that Ukraine is ready for big battles against Russia. He says Ukraine must beat back Moscow's forces for more negotiating power before the leaders can meet. The bodies of more than 1,200 people have been found in the Kiev region, says Ukraine's prosecutor general. Ernia Benediktova says Russian forces were killing Ukrainians every day, but Russia denies targeting civilians. There have been further Russian attacks in the east and south of Ukraine. The regional governor in Dnipro says the airport and surrounding infrastructure has been destroyed by Russian bombing. Pope Francis calls for an Easter ceasefire to allow for a push for peace during an open-air mass in St. Peter's Square. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has been ousted from power after losing a no-confidence vote in his leadership. The vote was held past midnight after opposition parties brought a motion against him, following days of drama. The motion was first brought last week, but the former cricket star blocked it by dissolving parliament. Sunday's vote took place after the country's Supreme Court ruled in favor of the opposition parties and said that Mr. Khan had acted unconstitutionally. Mr. Khan is the first Pakistani Prime Minister to be ousted by a no-confidence motion, with opposition parties securing 174 votes in the 342-member House in support of the no-confidence motion. His replacement, who will be voted in by Parliament on Monday, will be able to hold power until October 2023, when the next election is due to be held. And now for some sports news. Charles Leclerc took a dominant victory in the Australian Grand Prix to move into a commanding position in the World Championship. The Ferrari driver was in total control of the race when his main rival, Max Verstappen, retired with a technical failure on his Red Bull at two-thirds distance. Verstappen is 46 points, almost 2 clear wins behind Leclerc after just 3 races of the season, in 2 of which the Red Bull has failed to finish. Red Bull's Sergio Perez was second after winning battles with Mercedes drivers George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Remarkably, in the context of Mercedes' disappointing start to the season, Russell is second in the Drivers' Championship at this early stage, and Mercedes second in the Constructors' Chase. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. System malfunction causes a Malaysia Airlines plane's sudden dive. Tanjung Tokong fishermen protest proposed demolition of homes at village. Chicken shortage imminent if government doesn't resolve supply pricing issues, says industry body. Ukraine ready for big battles against Russia. Imran Khan ousted as Pakistan's PM after vote. An Australian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc wins in Melbourne as title rival Max Verstappen retires. This has been the Gap News this morning, Monday, 11th April, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.